Hi there, welcome into Energy Upgrade Feng Shui Tips 2021. We're in the first full week of May. I'm Lisa Albin. I'm the owner of Cloud9 Feng Shui and co-founder with the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui. And throughout the course of last year, coming into this year, I developed my own method called Energy Upgrade, which integrates quantum sciences, stress reduction, and Feng Shui to help all of us operate at our own 100 best energetic level on a larger scale with visibility to cosmic energy and being able to navigate that energy and support us individually using Feng Shui, helping us to manifest and move toward our goals with more clarity and ease and confidence. And if you get a chance to read up on me and Cloud9 Feng Shui and the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui, check out the links in the description to learn a little bit more. And if you're new to my channel, you're about to have your energy calibrated if you are willing and ready. And I am so honored to have you here, and thank you for investing your time. I've done quite a bit of work behind the scenes, and I'm trying to tailor down this experience for you to be a better use of your time and still maintain all of the benefits. So I've done a lot more pre-work before you and I are connecting over this virtual realm, and I can't wait to share it with you and see how this is unfolding. Before we get started and take a look at the cosmic energy through the I Ching reading, I'm going to make sure that we have our best connection and using the software to do that. So you are the Energy Upgrade YouTube viewers, and that's just with my intention. Even if I had it spelled wrong, it's my intention to really connect with you. And I'm going to make sure that we optimize our connections and improve the values that currently exist. Now, this software it has been created. Everyone who has touched this software is a light worker, an energy healer, a master in their field, whether it be Reiki or whether it be any of the Chinese 5 sciences or like myself in Feng Shui. Everyone who has touched this software is a light worker, hoping to help the world on a bigger level and make a bigger impact. And I have a feeling if you're here, you're receptive to that idea that working on the light and the aura around you is not only going to help you, but those around you. Sealing up all of those holes within our energetic aura field is going to help us feel more whole and have more clarity and ease and more well-being as we operate within our day-to-day. And that affects people around us, right? So our friends, family, colleagues, those we interact with virtually, now that's a bigger part of our lives. Right now we have our best energetic level, and I'm going to take us back to the I Ching reading, and I'm really excited coming out of last week, that energy and that angst that we felt, and it coincided with that supermoon. So boy, if you were sensitive to either of those energies, you probably had a hard time sleeping. I just put out a special video about Feng Shui for the bedroom for better sleep. If you missed it, check out my channel for the previous video, and I'll put a link back to it for you as well. Thank you so much for being here. I consulted the I Ching on our behalf. What is the energy surrounding those wishing to receive an energy upgrade in this first week of May? And thank you. And it resulted in the energy 2 hexagrams this time, so the energy is much more unstable. It's not as static as it was in the last couple of readings. Energy is shifting quite a bit. It's a lot more unstable. There were 3 change lines resulting 2 hexagrams, okay? And it resulted in number 45, assembling. So the assembling, which is shifting into collective force, aka the army, but I prefer collective force. So the I Ching tells us to really evaluate the people who are assembling around us. And they are supportively a part of your power towards achieving a common goal. So for the common good, right? Is that resonating with you? If any of this starts to resonate with you, please drop me a comment in the box below so we can have some feedback interaction and maybe share a little bit about your intentions so I can put some energy behind that as well for you. You have a great deal of magnetism right now, and you hold a good power of influence. Those encircling you are waiting for you to demonstrate your leadership and virtues with confidence because they want to help and get on board with your cause. You and this group around you, you want to help, you want to influence for the greater good, and it happens to align with your goals. So perfect, right? You're finding your people. And do you feel this inexplicable energy where you're drawn to others or endeavors, and it feels a little bit out of the ordinary? Like, I normally wouldn't want to take up this hobby, but I'm so drawn to it right now. Or this isn't my normal type of crowd who I might hang out with. Well, trust and follow the instinct to assemble with these people and endeavors because you're going to have good fortune come out of this. Relationships are of the utmost importance. And when you're out of alignment with this energy, you're going to feel indecisive and conflicted and maybe even ill or sick to your stomach. So consider that. You listen to what your body is telling you, and that'll help get you back into alignment. So that might require being a little bit, maybe you have a moment of meditation and check in with yourself a little bit more during this time to make sure that you are aligned and on track. And with everything that you do, consider the impact on those around you and also the world. So think about the microcosm and the macro of your effects, those closest to you and those furthest from you. You're making an impact, and it's significant right now. Relationships are very, very important. Act with confidence because you have a whole team of supporters behind you. Your people are backing you up. So rely on your people. And even if they might not look like your normal crowd, they're here for you and they share your vision as well. So this is an exciting energy, especially moving out of an energy where we were tasked with remaining small and working on the image that we were projecting. Doesn't it all come together right now? The cool thing about I Ching is that when you journal it, you recognize the story that's unfolding. And it's very similar to the synchronicities you might feel when you're doing a tarot reading because it removes the ego. These are responses and a language and a guide that is resulting from me tossing 3 coins 6 times. I can't control the result. It is what it is. And sometimes it's something that I'm not thrilled about because it feels like a difficult message to share because sometimes the energy we are moving through is difficult. But in studying the I Ching and the 5 earthly elements and integrating Feng Shui, we learn how to navigate these energies a little bit more tactfully and gracefully. And it does help make you feel a little bit better when you can understand these energies and why you might be feeling certain ways and things that we can do to help feel more supported and safer and comfortable. So enough of that. I love the I Ching. Obviously, I teach a good bit about the I Ching within the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui. That is in our part 2, deeper level part 2. But we do offer a course that's a DIY. So if Feng Shui, if what I'm talking about, this energy and the I Ching is interesting to you, you might have an interest in taking up a DIY course in Feng Shui. And that's something that we offer on a self-paced video course level. That's not going to get you a professional certification, but it's something that you can start to get acquainted with and start practicing Feng Shui in a similar way that I do, that I find very easy to integrate into my life. In fact, it's become my lifestyle. So if this interests you, check out the links in my description. And thanks for sticking in with me. I'm going to jump right in. So the things that I looked at before I got into working with the software today So I use intuitive discernment within the software to tell me what exactly I should be using in our session today. And it recommended that I run a sustenance balancer for Energy Upgrade YouTube viewers, a Reiki panel, yes therapy, acupuncture panel, and soul imaging. And some of these I've done already. So I've already done the sustenance balancer. And in the interest of time, I ran the sustenance balancer. I'm going to go ahead and just let it run in the background right now for all of you. And it's done a lot of the balancing work already. I'm just going to let it finish out for a minute. Now, Reiki panel. I love the Reiki panel. It is interesting to me, fun to work with. A lot of my partners in light workers in what I do are Reiki professionals. And so this is very interesting to me. I'm not an expert in Reiki. I ask and I lean on my friends and my teachers, but this, I don't need to be an expert to use the software and doing it. Because it's working with the protocols that were imbued within it. And I can use intuitive discernment of the software to generate the work that's needed. But I am going to select a symbol right now. And I'm picking up that we want to really support relationship energy during this time. We've done a lot of work on helpful people and that metal energy, but I think we need to support earth energy, Feng Shui wise. So to generate more earth energy, I want to incorporate a little bit more fire. So holy fire. Perfect. So intuitive discernment, I'm going to be working with this symbol in Reiki, the holy fire symbol, which I think is really beautiful. And let's see, info. Meditation technique. This is very advanced and it allows me to do everything that might be happening in a more advanced healing session. Ooh. Mantra. To see the divine in all things. Love it. Okay, so that gives me a little bit of the information behind to make sure that's what I do want to use. And I'm going to go ahead and let it run using intuitive discernment. And right here, it has programmed in the positions to implement. Outside of my scope of knowledge, but I trust in the science of this quantum stress reduction software. So some of you might be feeling the energy already being exchanged because you're highly sensitive. Others might need a little time to let it set in. I've also gone ahead and run the yes therapy and got that set up for you as well using intuitive discernment. And so right now it's identifying 11 problems, no resistances to these, and it's going to remove the problems in this yes therapy. Look how fast it is. So if I were to dowse through these yes therapy questions, I would be asking all of these individually and dowsing on them with you on a personal level. And this is doing the work, working within our energy field. So it just amazes me how accurate it is each and every time. I also ran an emotional as a bonus. I ran an emotional aura field to find our words of wisdom. Okay, this caught me off guard, but the words of wisdom that were generated working to harmonize some childhood issues was invest in those who would enable others. I'm going to write that down. And I encourage you to write it down too in cursive perhaps, and really contemplate what this means. And it aligns with the I Ching reading today. Invest in those who would enable others. I like to write in cursive because it works with all of the levels within my subconsciousness and awareness, and more so than if I were just to write it or type it. And that's a quick tip for you to implement with your affirmations, and something that you really want to program into all the levels of your consciousness. Okay, so this is what was generated for you to contemplate today for all of us in this session. And it was working through childhood issues, working through some negatives, interrupting and expecting praise, and grounding. So really, really, really cool, and accessing positive feelings. So hope you all can appreciate that. If this is resonating with you, or you're just as amazed as I am, let me know in the comments. I really hope that you're receiving this energy. It's exciting to me. I love to hear the positive impacts that these sessions are making on so many people. And I'm really recognizing too all of the entrepreneurial spirits out there, light workers, who are feeling drawn to this practice. And I think it has to do with recognizing how important it is to keep our energy fields whole as possible while we're supporting others or sharing our information. And I think outside of light workers, it's important for everybody, if we're a part of a team, if we are owners of a company, running our family day to day. It's important that we are as whole as possible. Okay. So we went through our yes therapy. That process is complete. The Reiki panel is complete. Now, let's take a look at the acupuncture panel. To viewer, I can't spell sometimes. And I'm just going to have them do it for me. Again, I'm not an expert in acupuncture. I love acupuncture, but I have no idea where to begin. So here you see some herbs are being applied in addition to some important acupoints, gallbladder, stomach. This is what it's picking up that all of us within this energy upgrade session need, because our symptoms are these imbalances and deficiencies. So I hope this is helping you and you feel this energy, and maybe you feel a little more restored after your sleep this evening and get started in your week. That is certainly my intention. So while that's doing its thing, I also want to do some soul imaging work before we leave this, and then I'll give you your Feng Shui tip. So yeah, what always surprises me every time is how much this quantum science software aligns with my practice. My Chinese medicine doctor uses this software as well, and I find every time the software aligns with her diagnosis and recommendation. So it's a way to amplify what we can do on a mundane level here. This is like amplifying, magnifying all of the protocols that we would use here. We'll run it one more time. So soul imaging is looking for within our soul any switches that need repair. As we're talking about sealing up those switch keys holes that we might have from things that might be draining us, relationships that might be draining us. Remember, that's something that we need to be really aware of right now as we're talking about relationships. How are you feeling when you're interacting with the people around you, right? So are you feeling drained? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Or are you feeling renewed and inspired and seen? So that you'll be able to recognize by your body will tell you. So some people might feel their stomach turn a little when they're thinking about hanging out with someone that's not in alignment, or you might just feel a sense of well-being and completeness and comfort. So really listen to your instincts on this, your intuition. So I've gone through all of the recommended pro tools for today. And I hope that you receive this energy very well, and it helps to upgrade you to move forward with this new energy so that you can be that lighthouse to your people. And in terms of relationships, so when we're talking about relationships, it is the back right corner. So very simple here, the back right corner of your home or your workplace or your office or room is the relationship area. And it's also tied to romantic energy and marriage. But because we've done so much work on that metal helpful people area, I want to shift it and nurture the earth energy up here. So as we're talking about earth energy, I mentioned that you can create more earth energy by adding in fire, because fire creates earth, okay? So that back right area of your house, of any room, is related to earth, okay? But earth in a sense that it can also be symbolic of pink and skin tones and also, yeah, those earth tones, but you get more into those like, pink, peachy skin tones, okay? And so take a look at your area and first assess it. Assess the yin and the yang and assess whether or not it needs to be space cleared. So that's step one, all right? So how does the space feel? Does it feel too dim or too bright? Does it feel stagnant, or does it feel like it's high vibrating, or is it too loud? So really assess if there's any imbalances. A quick tip to do this would be, if you're lost and you don't know what I'm talking about, take a picture of this area, the back right corner, and look at it with an editing eye, as if, it helps to look at it on a picture. Because we become blind when we're within a space sometimes, and you might see the different nuances that are pointing to an imbalance. And you're going to check to see if there's a good presence of this earth. Okay, so is there a good presence of the earth element? That's the ruling element of love and relationships and partnerships. And if you feel there is a lack of earth, then start to add it in. Okay, so start by adding in some colors. You can also add in some shapes. You can check out these bagwas on, Google them. You can pull up a few. Some of them are inaccurate, so if you need help, send me a message or a DM or comment below, and I will do my best to help identify this for you. So things symbolic of this area and the earth energy are going to be square in shape. Squares represent earth energy as well. So you can use also pairs. That also is great to use in this area, especially as we're talking about romance. So if romance is your goal and that's what you set your intentions for, and you want to welcome in relationship energy, add them in with the intention and use an affirmation that speaks to that energy. So add in a pair of doves, for example, is something you might see often, but it could also just be a pair of candlesticks. And we're looking for an equality within this space in terms of love relationships and welcoming in that energy. So in terms of making sure that you're nurturing your partnerships, you want to make sure that your earth is well represented. If you're sick of all the earth colors and you want to bring in the energy without adding in more earth, add in fire, because that's you can use all of the colors of fire. You can add in candles, you can add in lamps, lights, electronics. Those are fire energy, and that's a way to support the area without adding in more earth. Okay. And then if you need to tone it down a little bit but remain harmonious, bring in your metal. And we've been doing a lot of work with the metal element. We've been doing a lot of work within children and creativity and helpful people. So I really feel we're getting very well supported in this story of the cosmic energy as it's unfolding. I want to hear where your relationship area is. Let me know in the comment box below. I want to hear if this resonates with you. Tell me about your relationships that are collaborating around you. Are you embracing them? Do they feel exciting and new, maybe a little bit out of your norm? Tell me all about it. I want to thank you so much for stopping by Energy Upgrade and Feng Shui Tips. Again, I'm Lisa Alban with Cloud9 Feng Shui and the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui. It has been an honor to have you in my circle. If you want to collaborate more on a mastermind level, check out Energy Upgrade in the links and check out Mastermind Group and apply to see if you will be a good fit to be in a smaller level think tank where I do closer, more intimate calls twice a month with the group, and we have some discussion in a Facebook group. I also have my deep dive energy upgrade sessions and the traditional, well, I say traditional, but my modern Feng Shui assessments that I do for homes and businesses. So homes, businesses, commercial properties, real estate. Check out the links in the description. Find the best fit for you, and I can't wait to work with you and co-create your best life and support you on the way towards achieving your goals. Many blessings times 9.